If the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would have only 4 years of life left. This claim belongs to one of the most intelligent people ever born, Albert Einstein. So could this be true? Does the whole humanity need bees, which we can call a tiny insect? First of all, there are opinions that Einstein did not make such a statement. It is not known whether he said it or not, but research shows that this claim has a high degree of truth. The bees are dying, much faster than expected. Since 1998, the world's bee population has decreased by almost half. Destruction of their natural environment, pesticides used in agriculture and air pollution are the main causes of these deaths. Now some might think that what could be the worst? Maybe we can't eat honey, that's all. But the problem is not there. Bees help reproduce more than 100,000 plants and trees. Thanks to the pollen carried by the bees, this plant cycle can continue. The remaining 20% is due to the winds. So we actually owe the green world around us to bees. So what would happen if we could wipe the bees from the world with a click of a button right now? How would this catastrophe scenario put forward by Einstein progress? First, months, since the ecological balance will not deteriorate immediately, except for bee producers, this situation would probably not be noticed. With a few news to be made, this will be announced to humanity, but still many people would not care about it. 1 year later, it was at this time that people would begin to realize something. Since seasonal plants could not reproduce naturally, the price of such foods would increase tremendously. Herbivorous animals in nature would start to die because they could not find food, and therefore carnivorous animals would also begin to perish. In other words, the ecological balance would be disrupted in a chain way. 2 years after the bees disappeared, food wars would begin to break out. If mankind could not create an alternative food source, hunger would reach extraordinary proportions. The foods that could be produced by man to some extent would not be enough for the entire population, and a large part of the world's population would die. 3 years later, probably, after 3 years, there would be no greenery in nature. In other words, the world will turn into a giant desert. As such, many living things would become extinct. That is, the ecosystem would be irreversibly degraded, and the world population, which is approaching 8 billion today, would remain a handful due to wars and hunger. 4 years later, we are no more. Well, at least that's what Einstein thought. But thanks to current technological developments, the question arises whether humanity can produce machines to take on the task of these creatures. In fact, this question must have come to mind especially in America, where the biggest bee losses are experienced, because researchers from Harvard and Northeastern universities made the first robot bees in the world in 2015. These mechanical robots, which imitate normal bee behaviors exactly, are in real bee size and can be controlled with a remote control. American researchers, of course, do not expect these robot bees to make honey or anything. They aim to enable the plants in their soil to reproduce naturally. However, the charge of these bees is enough for them to fly for only 15 minutes. The total distance that honeybees travel to produce half a kilo of honey is equivalent to about 1.5 tours around the world. In other words, we cannot achieve this natural cycle and the perfection of nature by human hands. If we protect the nature and forests around us, bees will overcome this and continue their lives as they have done for millions of years. Humanity is a part of the nature and we need it to survive, not the other way around. See you in the next video.